We're well over 1,000 hours on Breath of the Wild.
That's that's legitimately
It
insane.
is, yeah. The only thing we haven't done on Breath of the Wild is we didn't find all of the Korok seeds. That's it. Other than that, we've done everything. Oh, it's kind of absurd. I
That's
don't
a
know why.
Zelda? Is Breath of the Wild Zelda?
Yeah, Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, did you ever tweet out that we're gonna go live tonight or no?
I did, yeah, I tweeted it.
All right.
I got a retweet from Odie.
It's me just because I had to check just to see. I need to have the chat up. As
Oh.
we know, it takes a little bit to get people to start. So I thought we could dead air time for a little bit. 'Cause I do have a question for people, but I want to wait till there's more people on
There's
so
more
that
people on.
well, I actually so right before we started, Mr. Chris, my buddy Chris Shorter, Cheeserette, he comes on, talks a little bit, sends me pictures, and I'm super, super jealous. He just got ISS Vanguard, the new Awaken Realm Kickstarter, shipped to his house today. So he's sending me pics of the game as he's opening it. And I was gonna back it and decided not to, and I regret every second of not backing it because the game looks so unbelievably amazing. It's app-based with, like, binders and the it just I've just watched some playthroughs, I'm so upset with myself for not doing it. So I punished myself with painting Norse Blood Bowl guys, and I'm telling you, I know you didn't hate painting them. I feel like it's work painting the fucking Norse Blood Bowl guys. So bad. 100% just Minnesota Vikings.
It looks like the mascot for the Vikings. Oh, the
Mine
guy
is
that you just showed.
yeah, I'm not even gonna try to focus. Nope, didn't work.
Nice try
Never
though.
works. Yeah. So Minnesota Vikings, it's not even my team because it's Mason's team. I have the humans ready to rock and roll. So they're done. They're in the case. I don't think I showed you guys this, but I bought
Oh, is that the Charlie Victor one? Or is that a
uh,
different one? Oh
no,
no, I
this
don't
is
think
the
that's a
one.
Charlie Victor.
This is the one. This is a guy out of Arizona, and I got the custom insert for my lizard men, so it's got room for all their tails. So
Oh man.
it was
You
so
might have
worth
to
it.
you might have to send me a
A
link
link
to
on
that
that one?
because yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna cost you more money.
That's yeah, I mean that's the story of this group is costing me money for things that I don't
Hear
need.
Dane's sound. Did you guys see that?
Oh, just popped up. And here you did.
I'm just going to he's talking as he's walking through setting his sound up. So if anybody hears Dane's lovely voice come out, let us know. Holy, what's up, Kale? Yeah, we're gonna start doing monthly, try to do
Live
monthly
pods.
live pods because one, Dane doesn't have to edit when we're done. So step two before profit is done. No editing. There it is. No, once a month. Let's not get ridiculous here.
Well,
Let's.
yeah. Yeah, it'll be like the two of us doing it.
Yeah, I
So
got you. I got you. What
yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying. Yeah. I hear you.
Takes a
Yeah,
minute.
for my brain to process, it does. So I have a quick question. Can you hear Dane? Just in case you can't, and he's waving his hand like crazy.
Yeah, Dane's asking for confirmation that he's talking if you can't hear him.
So while we wait, I have a question for as people come on. The last, and maybe it's because Worlds is coming out, but the last several, uh, nobody can see you, dude. The last several, like, just armories, it seems like it's slowing down. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna blame Talishar Online because I know a lot of people are playing it, and well, still can't hear. Well, I mean,
Huh.
it's really not that important to hear Dane, so I think we'll be fine. Aren't you the one live streaming it? You bounce.
Yeah, he's the one.
And
Yeah.
Dane just bounces. It just ends 30 seconds into it.
Dane's just gonna take a nap in his chair, just lean back.
Uh, so anyway, I think that it is affecting locals. I think it 100% has now
Is
started
it?
to affect locals. I don't know what you think,
I
Blake.
I don't know. I think some of it too with local stuff is just. I mean, we even talked about that before we got on when we were talking about topics and stuff. Is it just feels like it's a slow news cycle. You know, like right now there's not a lot going on. There's not everyone's testing, so it's pretty quiet and stuff.
Yeah, if you can hear Dane, let us know. He just said something again. Um, but still, it's slower than it's ever been at
Yeah.
locals.
I think
And I think you can get your fix by Talasharing now, which I don't like. I think I honestly, my opinion right now is I think it's not good for the game as a whole.
just not good for the in person. I
No,
some of
the
it
game was the whole game, and I know this is the old school, but the whole game was meant to be played in person. I just
yeah,
don't like it. I've yet to do it just because I don't do well playing online like that. I need to hold.
usually.
Okay. How about now?
It's
Are you guys
Dane
getting
just
me?
spoke again. If you get if at any point you hear Dane, just let us know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be talking randomly, and
No, I get the burnout part too. And I even played as much, and I'm not going to Worlds personally. Just too much going on. We have. I mean, actually, if we just found out the opponent for sections for Mason's football team on Tuesday, and it's a shit team. I mean, we're probably I probably wouldn't have gone regardless because they're probably gonna be in playoffs for varsity football. So it's like, boy, bad
Kale,
timing for me on that.
I mean, Kale raises a good point too. Like burnout. Like I mean, we've had a really sweet. Thanks, Damon.
You're in, Dane.
I mean, we've had like a really look at the last like 9 months of flesh and blood.
Flab.
It's since no one
know
could
what?
hear me
Is
before.
that, wait,
I'm
whoa,
sick.
whoa. Before you say anything, is Flab or Flesh Pod worse?
I thought we talked about not doing this. No, I think I don't know actually. Like they're both. I think they're both funny.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. So nothing wrong
yeah.
with the Flesh
I love
Pod,
it.
but I do like Flab. So if we ever come up with another channel, let's just call it Flab.
Acronym.
I was
Flab.
thinking about this and like go
Shirts
ahead.
off. It'll be like Bruce Bowl. We'll have the Flab out.
I was thinking about
Hey,
this. Like
I'm trying to get rid of that, man. I've been working hard.
there's been a huge push towards like not like the crowd, the general crowd coming up and like taking in internet content is tending to not like branding as much as like personal. So it's like the Flesh and Blood podcast with Jason, Blake, and Dane. Like putting your names in the title and stuff is a lot more popular or easy to swallow for people. But fun fact, I don't know why I wanted to share some fucking market data with you about why we fucked up branding ourselves, but that's where I'm at.
I actually don't.
You're
I
old,
think
Jason.
it's very.
We're not talking.
I
to you.
like that our name has nothing to do with
I know
flesh and
too.
blood.
That means that I can just fucking quit whenever. Someone else can pop in, or you guys can
If
do
you
it.
guys
Doesn't
say,
matter.
like,
Don't have to
like,
change
just a
shit.
crazy idea. Let's just say you guys want to do like, hey, let's do a Saturday morning, podcast where we drink coffee and talk about anime. If you wanted to do something,
if we wanted to do
like
that, we
I mean,
could.
the worst idea ever. You guys could go and do it. You could just do it.
We did do that for a
We
while.
could do
We were
it.
doing. We were kind of
Could do
throwing shit at the walls at the beginning.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you like the first 9 episodes of My Hero Academia, for sure, scroll back through our video feeds. Oh
I'm in the same
God.
boat as Kale. I did play a lot. I'm probably
Yeah.
every 2 to 3 weeks in an army right now. I was out Tuesday, rotating, and I'm with you. It's I don't know what I want to build, don't want to play. The deck I want to play just has a bad Fi matchup, so it kind of sucks. Dromai, that's such a tough matchup.
The weird thing about Fab right now is that the meta is really open and feels really healthy, but I think Kale is 100% right in that it feels stale, and that's because we haven't had any significant changes. There's been nothing that feels like it's refreshed the meta. We just lost some things that weren't fun to play in, but everything we see is basically things we've seen over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of become one of those cycles of everybody wants new cards. I think that's why there's so much excitement for all of these random little spoiler drops, is people are just dying to play new cards. They're dying to see something else. And again, I think it pairs with the idea of like the game feeling stale at times or people kind of burning out. Is you, in order right now to feel interest or difference or something in the game, you have to maybe build a new deck or play something different. But even then, what are you playing for? If you're not going to Worlds, what are you playing for? Because we don't have dates for the next Road to Nationals or Pro Quests or even skirmishes right now. There's like all of that stuff is in the distance.
Yeah.
You're playing for sweet ass cold foil Yojis, baby. That's what you're playing for.
Yeah, you get those sweet Yojis.
I think you're playing for
Boom.
fun, right? That's what you should be playing for.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I ran Azalea on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to have fun. And it's crazy because Dromai just absolutely destroyed Azalea, partly because first time I played that matchup and I have to completely change the way I played it. But into Fi, each game was super, super close. I lost both of them, but me and Cortez ran it a couple times. It was the one pivot turn, he ended up having his sink below in Arsenal, and it was a red in the ledger that was big. And that was a huge pivot turn. In my other red in the ledger that hit him, he had an E-strike for 7, so it doesn't feel as good when you have the E-strike. So, but both matchups were like 2-3 health, with Fi.
Yeah.
It was that close. Which leads me to why do they hate Rangers so much that they give like these ninjas with 100,000 go agains great armor, and then they're like, Ranger, yeah, you might just get handed, you can't even attack. We're gonna give you the worst armor possible. Here's some multi bracers. Was it block for? No, block. Oh, what? No. This doesn't block. We're gonna give you a 1 buff, one-time effect.
I think we see sometimes that there's like the accidental effect of allowing something to be a little more flexible, and when they do that, sometimes it accidentally creates a little bit of value in another deck that they don't intend it to. Like Flame Scale Furnace is a prime example of a card that they made draconic so that it would be a legendary that would be more valuable long term and have more options. It'd be more open to the field to pick it up. And then Fi just happens to be able to play it as a chess piece that gives him 3 block. He doesn't care about the effect. He doesn't even. He's basically never going to use it, but he likes the 3 block.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great block piece.
It's just, I mean, Shuko is an actual piece of the deck that offers some value,
right?
And it happens to block
value than I thought it would.
Yeah,
the Shuko
100%.
was a lot because those little ones turning into 2 that you don't want to block because it's just, especially against that, you have to save waiting for that 5 or 6 block, and you got to guess on your sink belows. Because I was running D-Reacts with Azalea, so you're just kind of guessing, do you have the big finisher or not? And sometimes you'll take 2-3 damage, and then they don't have the finisher, and you're just like, ah. Yeah, hopefully she'll get some good block one of these days.
Damon, I feel you. I think there are a few decks that definitely feel like they're in a tough spot. It's unfortunate because some of the really interesting decks to watch and the decks that have a lot of things going on and require team piloting also happen to be decks that aren't great right now, like Lexi and Bolton are just in a tough spot where they don't have a great spread of matchups. So you kind of lose them from the meta, but they're really interesting, fun decks to play. They're interesting, fun decks to watch. They're like right, like they're dynamic in their play style, but they're just not very good right now. They're in just a weird position. They're really positioned by comparison to the best decks. They don't have a great aggro matchup in Defy, and they don't have a great, they don't have a great aggressive plan or like plan long term to fight Oldhim. They also can't out aggro, but they also can't fatigue aggro. So they fall into this, oh no, I'm in the middle and I can't really do anything kind of situation. And it's weird. Decks that have that are kind of tough right now.
It's weird because right now, and I've always been a proponent of this, is I like the release schedule that we have. I don't like getting bombarded with a set every month. So you obviously have pros and cons of that. The pro to me is it's a big money saver because I honestly, regardless of the game, if it's that heavy, I don't think I'm still playing. Straight up, if we had monthly releases in this game, I would burn out super fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I think if it was anything like DBS, like that, it wouldn't matter how good the game is.
No,
I wouldn't be able to.
That was part of the issue. That was a part of the issue with DBS is I couldn't take the constant release, the constant chase, and then just expense at chasing certain cards, and everybody needed the good cards, and it just I don't know. But then you do have stale times like this because you're not getting new sets, and I'm sure they did. I don't know if they did this on purpose, but not having. Like, when's the last battle hardened? There's not much now leading up these last 3-4 weeks. Is there?
Is it this weekend? This weekend or next weekend is Columbus, which is the big one because that's the Realm Games where LSS did 100% nailed it, and Realm Games put on that sweet 10K or something a while back, and then they were going to host it again. And LSS caught wind of that they were hosting it, saw how well it went last time, and they were like, "Hey, how about we just make it a battle hardened?" And they kind of awarded them a battle hardened based on the fact that they did well. I think it hurts too that we caught a weird timing, and I think that it's a product of the way that when you schedule everything, right? When you schedule something as big as Nationals, when you schedule set releases and you have all the printers and stuff, you try to get all of your windows right, and then sometimes we fall back on that situation where we go, oh no, something bad happened and now we're kind of screwed, right?
So,
like I think Dynasty, I think the intention of Dynasty was to be released before Worlds, and something happened when they had to push back whatever release it was a while back, Tails or whatever. I think everything got shifted back like a month or two, and then now, or like a month probably, and then Dynasty just so happened to get pushed past Worlds, which is really unfortunate. Because can you imagine if all the spoilers were happening, and then 2 weeks before Worlds we got Dynasty? Everything would be electric because everyone would want to be testing like crazy,
Yeah.
So with these 2 battle hardens coming up, because Cody just hopped in, so Denver's a week after. Do you expect good turnouts for that coming into Worlds? If you're a Worlds contender, are you even going to an event that close to Worlds or playing anything remotely close? Because the way I look at that is the way everybody was super top secret before Pro Tour 2, which I've said is ridiculous. Whatever, like not even saying what heroes, just kind of ridiculous. Nobody cares. Okay, nobody cares. You can say what hero you're playing going into Worlds. It's going to be okay. They're not going to,
Attack you as a
attack
one individual
for
person.
one person. Okay. You can, whoever you are, you can just say what deck you're playing.
Mhm.
But if you go into a battle harden, you don't want to get off your deck that you're playing and you're not going to bring your spice. It's just like a weird, like for me, I love playing tons of decks, so that's no issue. I just bring some other deck and play. But I know a lot of people aren't like that don't like to play a lot of decks and would struggle going to an event like that and not bringing their best stuff. So I
Right.
can't imagine we're going to see anything remotely spicy in a battle harden.
I'm
Unless
curious
it's somebody not going to Worlds that just shows up
Yeah.
with something crazy.
If somebody is going to Worlds, I wonder if they would bring the other deck they're considering, like one of the other 2 or 3 decks. If they've got 2 or 3 decks that they're considering, they might not bring deck 1A, but they might bring deck 1B to give it a trial run. And if it
does
goes
amazing.
well, yeah, if it goes
With all
well,
the spice.
well, yeah, you want a battle hardened, you take that PTI and you just bank it, right? And if you don't win it and you flame out, then you either know, okay, the deck needs a lot of work, or you know what, this is not the one. This is not the one I'm gonna take for sure.
Mhm.
But I will say, interesting that Cody mentions it. Ale, that's what bans are for. I'm 100% a proponent of the opposite. I do not like falsely influencing a game's meta or a game's existence with bans just for the sake of shaking up the game. I think that's the wrong use of bans personally. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't like I think bans are going to be number one. Bans are going to become more popular as this game comes on, and we get more and more sets. It's just
Yeah,
the
I mean
nature
that's
of the
the
beast.
issue with non-rotation, right? Is that you need
Right,
to
yeah.
there needs to be some sort of checks and balances long term, and I think that's just naturally
But
kind of what's going to happen.
I'll be curious if we see more consistency around the bans. And what I mean by that is I always fall back to the letting Starvo roll while slowing down other decks that are not nearly as dominant. They're dominant. Don't get me wrong. There's some dominant decks that lost some pieces, but are we gonna get consistency where it's just gonna be like, oh, that deck's had a big up tweak. We're gonna suspend this card. If they go to that consistency, I'm okay. I just don't want to see the ebb and flow of not the same decision points
The
on the same
next
decks.
Yeah, the next bans will be the real telling story of how they will handle bans going forward, because we had the Starvo instance where they left everything alone and just said, he'll living legend himself. And it seemed
Right.
like that was the solution they 100% took. And then we've got the most recent one, which was, let's preemptively catch some stuff that we think is going to be or is a little problematic, but we want to catch it before it's extremely problematic, which I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that if it becomes the standard. The problem is our recent experience gives us 2 very different situations that they've provided us. It's like, okay, here's option A, here's option B.
Mhm.
And I think as the players, we just definitely want an option where it's like, okay, give us option B where you solve things correctly and you take care of problems before they are Starvo problems. Let's make sure that that's consistent and it doesn't ebb and flow, to Jason's point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Damon had a comment. He's wondering if they're trying to keep like some decks around for some reason. So I do think that they pretty universally, like James said that the average life of a hero, right, or a deck,
What
would
they
be
want it to be.
what they want it to be is what do you say, like 12 to 16 months, something like that
Yeah.
is like
It's
the.
they definitely want it for more
I might
than
be
a year.
totally
Like the
misquoting that. I know it's between a
Yeah.
year and 2 years. It's somewhere. He said months,
Yeah.
and I didn't remember the exact months, but
like a dad telling you, like a mom telling you how old their baby is.
it's like
He's 30 he's 32 months. It's like, okay, don't make me do math. It's how old is he? You don't like once it's 12 months, once it's past 12 months, tell me the years, okay?
Let's use years at that point.
Yeah.
We don't need to stay in the months.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Jason,
you guys don't
Jason,
need
how
to
old
know
is
that I'm 522 months old right
I'll say
now. So
how old is Mason? Mason's 18, right? So
He'll be
He's like-
18 in like 3 months. So
Yeah, he's like
Multiplying
200 months
two
or something like
double-digit
that.
numbers together. Fuck that. I can't do. I can do a single and a double. I can multiply that shit, but I can't. I can't do a double and a double in my head.
no
There's a point where enough is enough.
Yeah.
He can't do the double.
No.
But that's all right.
Double.
You start carrying
You'll-
the shit.
you'll get
I
there
just did. So
someday.
it's Chelsea's birthday today, so we just went out to dinner, and I was just
Oh.
Chianti.
Never heard of it.
Um,
What kind of food is
Chianti,
it?
Chianti Grill.
Yeah, Chianti Grill. It's like
Nice.
I don't know, like a kind of a home style, but it's
America?
not. America is steak, pasta. There's like some
Okay,
Italian
yeah.
stuff. I guess I'd probably classify it as Italian, but
Okay.
yeah, it was what was I talking about? Oh, the bill. So we got the bill at the end, right? And I'm doing the calculation, and you know the trick to make it 20%. You just move the decimal and then double what you get. And when I was adding that to the total, I had to like carry the one and shit. So like my bill had like a little like middle school math problem on it. It's kind of funny. I don't know.
just like
just double the number and you're fine.
Yeah, if you
Double,
just
but
give
but
them,
the but the
$100,
adding
You-
the
you
adding
double, it's
of
20.
the adding of the doubled number to the original number, I had to like carry, and like I drew a little one. Also,
No,
my
so the trick
brain's
is
not
just
functioning 100% right now.
if you
Like,
just
I'm-
put $100 on it.
Ah,
Yeah, you'll be
Easy.
fine.
Just put a one. You just put a one in the front. Move all the numbers down. Problem solved. Nothing to add. See,
That-
I'm here. I'm here for the
Mhm.
people.
That is the resolution. Yeah, we went
That
out
is
to
the solution.
Porterhouse for our anniversary. Had a big old
Mm.
steak.
Mhm.
Nothing
you
like
go.
a good old steak. That's straight steakhouse. Like if I go somewhere fancy, straight, I want the goods.
I got the
Midwest.
porterhouse
That's
tonight.
that's the Midwest staple.
Why does Dane not? Oh, also why? Yeah,
Oh,
math.
Also, why Dane does not play
Math.
Kano.
Yeah.
Yeah, carrying the one on Kano can be an issue sometimes.
Math
I
actually is like I would consider like especially being like field artillery and doing like projections and like calculations and stuff on the fly. Like I would say my math skills are strong. I'm just not at 100% right now. I
Yeah.
can't
See, if
do.
you played Kano, we could call you Dano. You'd have an auto nickname like Ben coming into clutch with the nickname.
Yeah,
But no, you didn't.
it'd be like the twins. You know, they always had like an ER or whatever. Like everybody's got to have these little cute little names.
Mm-hmm.
Dano.
Dano. There's
Like
Dano.
you talking about the Minnesota Twins?
Yeah, I can't remember all over what they are.
You
now,
guys
but,
all
like, my
remember
brain's fried.
Doug Minkavitcher? Yeah.
Well, what they call her? See, I can't remember. It was like a C at the end of it, or an or R, or you know how they do that. They add just
yeah.
the same thing to the back of every name.
Kirby
And it's a
Puckett.
little-
Well, yeah.
Kirby Puckety.
Every
It wasn't that long ago. It was in the Gardy time
Oh,
frame.
yeah. Dude,
Gardner.
watching him get
It
all
might have been
fucking
you,
watching him
Gardy,
getting fired up,
Lowry.
watching him getting fired up and like getting at the umps and stuff was some of the highlights of my childhood. Well, I guess it was more like
That was
junior
good.
high,
I was gonna
Junior
say
high.
child.
see,
That's
I grew
adult.
up.
high school. Yeah,
grew up
well,
a
you're
Cubs
also
fan.
fucking 50, so
I'd say I grew up a Cubs fan, so I watched Lou Piniella at one point manage the Cubs. Nobody throws a baseball temper tantrum. Nobody ever did like Lou Piniella. It was iconic. He famous for on more than one occasion ripping out second base to throw it farther into the outfield to make them go get it.
more
it's just
than
like
one
one of those
occasion.
moments.
I love that.
On more than one occasion, he took second base out and just chucked it. Which
Sometimes you just
Yeah.
gotta
You gotta
get
do
rid
what
of
you
second
gotta do.
base.
The moral of the story is you gotta
Yeah.
do what you gotta do.
Second base might be the issue, and you just have to get that shit out of there. Just the way
You
it
got-
is.
you want a new bag. You don't like second base. You need a replacement. That's consider that as an option, right? Like it is funny that in cards people are so finicky about what is considered poor sportsmanship, and there's the joke about the table flip. But has anybody in person ever actually seen somebody flip a table out of rage? Because it's something that we talk about all the time in card gaming.
It wasn't
But
a
I have
table flip
never seen.
when I was in Kansas.
Never seen it.
When I was stationed in Kansas, right? I did see when I was there playing 40K there was a bunch of Magic players playing at like the long skinny tables, and I
Yep.
did see someone grab the other person's mat and pull it out from their cards, and watch the cards go
Oh
everywhere.
man.
Yeah, I mean
I wish I
that
could have
was
seen that, to be honest.
that was an intense moment. Like the
I'm
dude,
telling you right now,
it's so funny because they were both like fucking. They had to be like high school, maybe college, I guess. But
Yeah.
like they didn't like the guy who had it happen to him didn't know what to do. Like he wasn't properly mad like an adult would get mad at that. Like he was just
Oh
like
jeez. Yeah.
yeah.
I can tell you right now, my immediate response. Have you ever seen the videos on the internet of slap fighting where they stand at the table and people just wind up and they
Yeah, I've seen it.
slap somebody so hard they like wobble?
They have competitions. They have
grabbed-
like there's like tournaments and
Right,
shit
yeah.
for that.
100%. If somebody yanked my mat out from under my cards and flipped my cards everywhere, without hesitation, I would slap fight them. I would start the slap fight. I would initiate it. Like, there's no way. I would lose my mind. Just rear back. Like, I love that they line it up too. Like, you ever see the slap? I love the slap fights because they'll like line up the face, bring it back, line it up to the face, bring it back, line it up to the face.
Not this time. Maybe the next one. Yeah.
And that's going to be a professional sport now that UFC picked up slapping.
I saw maybe my favorite one yet. It's the obscure
Official.
ESPN 8, the Ocho Sports. That's to me what those are.
Cornhole.
Right? Is like, yeah. I saw one the other day that might have been the most insane version of like a combat sport I've ever seen. It was literally called phone booth boxing. Just two dudes start back to back in an actual phone booth.
I
And
saw
when the
that.
bell
I've
rings, they
seen
whip
that.
around and just start
Yeah.
swinging. I can't imagine what in your brain goes, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get in a phone booth with a guy.
I've seen that where they do it in cars and it's all tight spots.
Yeah,
And you just have a fight in a tight spot like that.
it's so weird. It's such a bizarre. The internet has caused a lot of weird things like that to pop up.
For example.
Just to keep doing stuff like this.
And there we
can't
are.
stop ourselves.
Especially in times like now where there is literally nothing going on in the world of Fab. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
knows that right now. Like, we're here trying to come up. So I'll just tell you a little lacrosse story. So Mason broke his personal record in one of the last fall games by getting 3 flags and a hat.
Hmm.
And it wasn't even bad. It wasn't even bad. Kid gets cross-checked in the back of the neck. And then hits the kid. We're talking about pulling mats out for Magic cards. If you get cross-checked in the back, and it left a huge welt. So he pops the kid one, flag comes up, and he looks at the refs. Are you fucking kidding me? You're not going to call the cross-check? Well, that's going to get you another flag. He's like,
Yep.
you got to be fucking kidding me right now. There goes flag 3. He goes, you know what? I ain't going to take this level of disrespect from you. And there the hat came from the ref. And he got the full 4. And he got to sit out the rest of the game and take a break and get some water. So it was good. But
Yeah.
It's good for him long term.
it's good
Yeah.
long term. So, I mean, the moral of the story is you can't slap the guy back once he pulls your mat, Blake. You're going to get kicked.
Nope. I'll
You're
take the game
out.
loss. I'll
You're
take the
gonna
game loss.
He's like,
Take the
yeah,
game loss.
I'll take the penalty on
I'll
this.
I'll see myself out. I'll happily. That's where you just.
But
The-
again, that's
the
like
trick
that
to that-
adult, like that's where you know yourself and you know how you respond in those situations, and you've been
Oh,
in those
100%,
situations
yeah.
before. Like some 19-year-old kid who has it happen to him, he's just like, what the
what
fuck?
also
do I
makes-
do
What the
now?
fuck
What do
was
I
said?
do?
I now
do I
remember
do?
what the fuck being said lots in that situation.
Actually,
It's like,
to
we're
me-
past what the fuck at this point.
Yeah,
but
to me, the correct way to respond is actually to 100% slap them, but then to calmly and collectively start to pick your stuff up. Just start to pick up your cards, like nothing, like just full on slap fight.
see,
them,
I don't
knock
think
them
I
out of their
don't
chair.
I don't think the slap
roll
is the,
your
the
mat.
move. I think it's the calm like cat push of their shit off the table.
Just
Like,
looking
no
them
need
dead
to
in the
resort to
eyes.
blows. Like you're better than them. Just but not that much better. Just push their shit off the table. That's what I would do.
I
You
would be
know,
very
what if-
curious
okay,
what the
what if-
response would be.
So let's say the other two people at the table might be their friends. Then do you go with your stuff still left on there? Then do you go for the full table flip? Like just like I'm just gonna go
like
for the
in
full.
response, like he does it to you, you flip back.
Yes.
Like we're doubling down on this bitch. Like let's go.
I thought you were.
I'm trying to think of that situation. If somebody
Yeah.
pulls out my mat, because I got a short fuse, right?
Yeah.
But I also don't want to go to jail because I don't think you can do physical harm to somebody after they hurt your cards, right? I don't think
Yeah,
the
it's
police
probably,
is gonna
it's
be like,
probably no bueno.
what they do to your
The,
cards?
the cops will be like, yeah, who
Okay,
gives a
I'm gonna let
fuck
this
about
one
your
go. I actually really like what you said, Dane, in just a really slow.
You know what I would?
Okay.
That would take like that's because I've
that-
had time to think about it, and like this has not been the
Yeah, but
first
now
time
it's
I've thought
in
about
my
the
head and
situation.
programmed. If this ever happens,
Yeah.
I think I'm going with the slow sweep.
Like I thought about it.
Slow
I think realistically, what I would do is I'd say, all right, you can pick them up, or I'm gonna go talk to the manager. Like I'll be a Karen. But like I think that like talking because that's like I know the shop owner. Any shop that I play in, for the most part, I know the shop owner.
Karen.
So it's like,
Your first sentence was dead on. You can
Yeah.
pick them up,
yeah.
or you're going to be down there with them. That's your choices.
Yeah.
See, I don't
Look-
resort to violence ever. I'm not a violent person.
Yeah, but
See,
you could say that. You could say that.
Nah, I
You
don't
just say
say
it.
stuff that I'm not gonna do.
Oh, it would be great. Nobody
I
expecting
know.
it.
See, yeah, I was raised with like a dad and uncles who were definitely like more fighters, so I have it programmed in me where it would definitely be that. I think the natural response would be like, you're going to go to the floor one way or the other. You could
See,
be
this is
doing
just
it to
our
pick up
lone
my
wolf.
cards or-
This is just our lone wolf mentality coming out again. This is just
I
our,
just
we're
can't
just
help-
kind
I
of
don't-
badasses.
I don't know.
We're just all kind of
It's- yeah.
badasses. So you guys can deal with it. We're just, that was one of my favorite comments from last week.
I didn't.
Someone had said
I don't know
something like, "You guys sure like to talk about how tough
You
you
don't
are."
care what people
Or
think.
how you don't care what
Yeah.
people think, and I just responded. I was like, "Yeah, it's because we're kind of badasses, lone wolves, cool cats."
Cool cats.
We do bring that
Kinda
up
like
a lot,
the-
though. We could probably tone that back.
It's
We do talk
It's not
about
like
it a
we're
lot.
talking about something being hard asses. We're talking about a situation that you witnessed and how
Mhm.
you would respond. Okay? Nothing is fucking happening in Fab. We're drawing at straws right now. We're taking a real life situation. We're dissecting it and coming out with a fucking plan right now.
Yeah.
If this happens to us, we have it ready to go.
Mhm.
And all three of us are going to have a different situation.
Yeah.
Like
Speaking of
how
like,
we're going to handle.
speaking of totally useless plans, do you guys have like zombie plans, alien plans, shit like that for like your home? Like, do you have like that in your head?
There's a reason why I have 3,000 bullets in my safe.
But I
So,
mean,
of
like, do you
course.
know where like, okay, I'm pulling the plywood from the shed. It's going on the windows. Chelsea's like, we got bags of concrete for filling in like some of our cinder blocks.
See,
Like we're putting that
Nope.
in the windows. If it's like
I've always
doomsday
said-
shit. Like
I've always said the solution is simple. You gather a group of people that you trust, and you meet them at the Menards in the middle of you, because Menards has all of the lumber you need and all of the food you need to survive for weeks.
that's fair.
It's Menards. Everybody always says they're gonna go to like, oh, we'll go to Walmart. I'm like, how are you gonna board the walls up, the doors, huh? I'm just saying, how do you do it? You can't.
Bug
There's no
out van.
boards there. You just
Yeah,
Bug out.
I like the bug out van.
Bug out van and bag.
Hey,
So I
perks
don't
of
have to worry
perks of having a
food.
courier van. I've got a courier van now. We could just that's our home now. We're just fucking on the road. Gets like 27
enough
miles a gallon.
Deer-
We're good.
I have enough deer that come in the backyard that I think we'd be okay with food.
Honestly,
I
Jason,
just
I'm
have to
probably
wait-
just going to your house. Like you're far enough
Yeah,
away
it's-
from everything where it's like Blake and I, like Blake more so than me, but like if stuff hits the
Yeah.
fan and there's like a metro area evacuation, like Blake's for sure dead. Like they're fucked. But like
Yeah,
we
it's-
might get out. Like Jason's
if
fine.
you've ever watched
Watch
The
Will
Walking,
Smith on it somehow. Like
yeah,
it's gonna have to be like some Will Smith type of moment to get out
Yes.
of the city alive.
yeah,
It's like
I'm gonna slap. Speaking of slapping anyone in my way,
Blake's
I will
Blake's up on
slap-
his roof, like lassoing like rescue helicopters and shit, and being like, "All right, we're going. It's around your waist. Let's do it."
There's a reason I didn't watch much of The Walking Dead after the first season, because the first season was all that matters to me. How did they get out of the middle of Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
to the countryside? That's all I need to know. That's the
Do what
most
I
important
tried
part
to
to
do
me.
in college and steal a boat.
How do I keep the city folk out of the countryside?
Mhm.
We have opposite plans.
Oh
I,
god.
it's like I'm gonna take paint in bright orange and do like a 200-yard perimeter around the house. Something crosses that line, they gotta go.
This is my
That's
property. It's a
zombie
long story.
apocalypse rule number 1. I mean, that's why what's the one with Woody Harrelson and all of them?
Zombieland.
Yeah, Zombieland.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. You should take notes of that. There's some couple like cardio. Everybody should work on cardio just for that reason.
Yep.
You need to have the cardio. Running around the car while he gets his keys ready to get. I mean, it's important
Gets
stuff.
to the car, drops him, does another lap. Yeah,
Yep.
that shit was great.
It's the classic bear in the woods thing, right? You don't have to run marathons, because you don't have to be the fastest. You just have to not be the slowest. Just like
Mhm.
you don't have to be the strongest. You just have to not be the weakest. You got to be right in the middle of the pack. You don't want to be the head honcho, because that guy always gets overthrown at some point in the show.
Mhm.
You don't want
Dude,
to be at
I've
the
thought
bottom
about
because
that.
they get left behind.
Dude, I've thought
Is that
about
when you
that
start
so
hanging
much.
out with your least healthy friend?
Yes.
Like your
If you
least healthy
think-
friend, you're like, why do you want to hang out all of a sudden in the zombie
This is why you
apocalypse?
guys. This is why you guys are friends with me. I'm gonna be like. I thought about this in the post-apocalyptic wasteland. Like, I am going to be the fucking Varys. You guys watch Game of Thrones? Like, I'm just gonna be like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be useful to the guy in charge. I don't want to be the guy in charge because that fucker gets assassinated. I just want to be like, I can talk to people. I can help you get organized. I can help
You want to be the little bird. You want to be the little bird.
Yep.
That's what you want to be.
Yep. I just want to be the dude that's there that gets to, he's got his meals.
Look what
Like, my
happened to him
family's
at the
taken
end.
care of.
I mean,
Yeah, he
it's a
gets-
good example
Yeah, he gets
until
fucked.
the end.
But
Spoiler
don't look too
alert,
far into
he
that
died.
example. Don't look too far into that. But
Yeah.
Good for like 7 out of 8 seasons. He had a good life. He had a good run. Good run.
It could
Lived a
run.
good life.
A good
It was a
life.
dickless run, but it was a good run.
I've got
Or ballsless, whatever they cut off for them.
the Unsullied
but for
lose
the
all
sec-
of it. I know
I-
the Unsullied lose
Is
all
it-
of it. I think
I
that
knew
he just
Unsullied
lost.
was
So funny enough, this week I greatly appreciated the fact that sometimes we spend a lot of time tangenting and running off. We run off course. That's part of what we always joke that we always joke that that's part of our charm. Now, that whether that's true or not, we don't know. But I appreciated listening to Push the Point this week, because they spent at least the first 10 minutes 100% stuck on the fact that Simon got a vasectomy, and it was just like a running constant loop of ball jokes and vasectomy, and it kept coming back to so he got you're gonna miss your balls, and it's like, okay, hold on, that's not what a vasectomy is. Just so we're clear,
You have no idea
scientifically-
the physical toll 3 vasectomies has on a man. Snip, snap, snap.
it's even funnier because Simon's a doctor, so all of the technical part of it and stuff, and then Trip and Hamish are just laughing their asses off about the idea of his sore balls that he doesn't have, or that he does. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, they can't be
Hold
sore
on.
if you don't have them, though.
Right.
You can. That's
But then
not
it's
true.
the-
People that lose limbs, they have phantom pain all the time. Jason, do some research.
I don't know
So-
what to say to that.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you? So I had a buddy who lost a leg. True story. Motorcycle racing. I got my accident. A year later, he got in his accident. So we're golfing 3
Besties.
years later. Right. So we're golfing 3 years later, and we're at his car, and he's getting his golf shoes off, and he takes off his leg and puts on his shoe, and I just look at him. I go, "You're so fucking lucky. You don't even need to bend over to tie your shoe." And he loses it. He's like, "Oh, I'm so lucky. I don't have a leg. Yes, I'm so lucky."
That sounds like I had a friend growing up, one of my best friends growing up. Both of his parents were blind. They were blind from accidents, so neither he or his sister were blind because it wasn't a genetic thing.
They were both
And
blind
so
from
we would-
accidents.
Both of his parents were blind
From
and they
the
had
same accident?
accidents. Not the same accident. They met in blind school, like in like
Oh,
high school
okay.
blind school.
Got it.
So when they were
It's like
kids, they had an accident.
that's a fucking coincidence right there. Jesus.
Right. So his dad Lorne had
Hmm.
a great sense of humor about it. Like sometimes I always try very like to dance around unless I know someone really well. I try to be very careful about like saying things that could be perceived as insulting someone with a disability, obviously. But every now and then you say something that you don't think about. And we went over one time and we changed the ceiling fan for him, just me and my dad. And we went to leave and just completely out of habit, we said, "Hey, Lorne, do you want the fan? Do you want the light turned on or off?" And he goes, "Well,
No,
it doesn't really
laugh at that.
matter to
Sorry.
me, so go
That's
ahead and shut
funny.
it off and save me the energy bill." And I was just like,
Good reply. It's a good reply. We're
That
gonna
is.
accept that as your answer. It's a good reply. Okay, we're gonna leave now.
definitely made me feel much better about it that he laughed about it, because if he
Yeah.
had just responded like, "I'm sorry, what?" I would have been so horrified I would have never been able to go back. But because he jokes
It's like
about
the
it, I was
Austin
like,
Powers.
thank
You
God.
didn't happen to see anything at all, and then walks. In the bathroom. The guy's fine. So
Oh.
good.
So on the topic of fab, the only thing that I realized
fab?
one thing. The whole thing we've only done like 100 episodes about it, but this one we were gonna miss it this time. So the only thing fab related that I noticed this week that I thought was an interesting topic via the social medias is how people feel about Blitz and how like the perception of Blitz has changed.
Hmm.
And for a lot of people, and then how some people are still like, no, I think it's a terrible format and I hate everything about it. I find it interesting that there were people who were 100% opposed to the idea of Blitz ever being competitive or ever being considered for anything. They thought it was the worst format. And then they're saying, now you see some tweets about people going, I was pretty down on Blitz. And then when they announced it for Worlds, I thought, I have to test it. And after testing it, I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was. And it makes me wonder how many people have that perception of Blitz who've just maybe never played a game
Not
of Blitz
played
or
a lot
haven't
of it.
played it
Yeah.
in like a year.
Yeah.
They played a couple of games early on and got completely waxed by something, and they're like, this is a stupid format. And that perception of it has just lingered for like 2 years now.
There was also, it could have been from the first big RTN, the fact that Viscerai was insane and
The
could just
skirmishes,
kill you
yeah.
on turn 0 and be like,
Yeah.
you died. But I gave you all my cards and you did 20 damage. How is this possible?
Yeah, I did enjoy in that time playing Kano. It was hilarious when they would try to deal 15 damage on turn 1. I'd be like, but wait, I can do it better. It's like you don't want to pitch to Arcane.
You do 19, you're like, son of a bitch. You got me.
Yeah, I was a resource short.
One resource short, baby.
That's the classic. That is the
Yeah.
classic. I was one resource short.
I'm like pretty convinced that was just what was said when Akano lost. Like, just it didn't matter. They could have just not even had the cards, but the other person doesn't know. I was one resource short. I could have totally done it. And the other person's
with
like,
100% certainty that there's many times that yellow card you're pitching, you can't Metacarpus nodes for that one extra damage, and you legitimately were one resource short.
But how many times are there that it's like you weren't?
That's Kano life, baby.
But yes,
that's Kano life. Well, of course you did. It's what you say.
That's what you say when you lose.
Like
you want them to know how close it was.
When you take the Oath of Kano and do the chant, it's I was one resource short, is how you end the secret saying in the secret Kano society.
Yeah.
So you just have to be able to say that.
You're in the Cult of Kano, the Cult of Kano Club, all spelled with K's.
Dude, that's what was the?
I should probably use that. That doesn't sound good.
It was Katsu. Was it the Katsu cult? Isn't that the cult of Katsu?
Yeah.
Katsu cult or whatever. Spelled with a K.
Spelled with a K.
It's like that's a bold choice.
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. It's actually what like the group is. Yeah. You know how they
got
like
a bad idea.
Yeah.
So Levia kind of gets a pass that like people talk about the cult of Levia Like it felt like that was pretty normal early on, but she kind of gets a little pass because it's very dark and occultish. So it kind of is
Yeah.
okay. But as a general rule, I definitely think people should avoid naming a group of people. If you're trying to come up with a name for your group, the word cult typically isn't the word you want to go. Even if people have a
You know what?
cult-like obsession with
You know what
it,
I think it is?
you generally want to avoid that.
It's like Azalea is the one. It's the one acceptable thing because Azalea is like the Reservoir Dogs. Like there can be a cult following of Azalea, like there's a cult following of Reservoir Dogs. Saying that you have a cult following of like a middling hero is like saying like you like the movie Polar
A
Express
middling
and I'm in
hero.
the Polar Express cult. It's like it was an okay movie. Like it's not a like it's like why is that you don't need to be a cult of that. That's not a cult following. It's just an okay movie. That's my
They're
problem with
harmless.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
it's like when like 4 10-year-olds are like, yeah, we're a cool group of guys. We're like a gang. And you're like, okay, you're dorky little harmless kids who are using that word inappropriately, and I'm gonna let it slide right now. But once you get to a certain point, it's not acceptable anymore. Like when you're
Whoa, 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 whoa,
like,
whoa!
You
right?
just got to hold up the handkerchiefs, red or blue. You said
You're
it.
saying my
You got
10-year-old gang wasn't real? That's bullshit. Because we were real.
We were tough. We were so tough.
I'm
Nobody
totally
messed
picturing
with us.
Jason in the backyard, like with big sticks hitting trees and stuff. Like, yeah, like just like being
When I
tough
was
guy,
10 years old,
tough kid,
I was
Jason.
cleaning shit out of stalls and throwing hay up on lofts. So I
Put
wasn't
it on
hitting
your
sticks.
lone wolf resume.
I'm not a lone wolf.
Yeah.
That's already like the whole wolf thing is like overplayed. Okay, we get it. You're a lone wolf. You're a wolf pack.
You're a warrior.
You're
That
wolfing
was
out.
like
I don't know. I
it was
just
like
overdone.
It was like somebody, I don't remember who it was. Somebody sent a
I
meme
love.
in one of the group chats where it was
Yeah,
like
go
a
ahead.
dude walking corgis in PetSmart, and it was like, don't let my calm demeanor make you think I'm a peaceful man. And it's like, bro, you're walking 2 corgis in PetSmart. Like that shirt, it just doesn't work, man. There's never a world where anyone is actually scared of what you're gonna do. You have 2 corgis.
I like to think that he's like, I have to go to PetSmart and walk my corgis. What's my toughest shirt? And seeing him, like,
What's my
I like to
toughest
picture
shirt?
him going through his closet picking that shirt. That's like the
Right.
scene I like to envision.
It's like when people like I love Flesh and Blood, I love the art, I love the aesthetic and everything like that. But I do always think that when people are like, yeah, I love that it's like super gory and bloody and all this stuff, because that somehow makes it better than like Pokemon. You're like, at the end of the day, it is still pictures on cardboard that we're pretending to use in combat against one another that we sit at a game store and play. I like the aesthetic. I love the art. I love all of the high fantasy aesthetic of it. However, just because there's a little blood and gore in the cards doesn't make you like tough now. You're not like, yeah, we're the badasses of TCGs. We play Flesh and Blood. It's like,
But
I don't
obviously-
know, man.
Obviously,
Make
if
me
there's like big boobies on my card and my playmat, like I obviously get chicks, right? Like
Yeah,
card
no,
game
right.
symbology is
Logic,
reality.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's right, Damon. You're still at the end of the day, you're still a nerd, right? Like,
I don't even know how to respond to any of that. To be
I-
honest
are-
with you.
you guys are pretending to T-bone things.
It's real.
Yeah,
He is the Drage master. Is that Drage or Derage?
D-Rage.
Derage.
Rage.
Derage master.
Dr. Age Master.
It's like people saying Master of Puppets is cool because it was in fucking I can't even what the hell's the name of the
Stranger
Stranger
Things.
Things.
Stranger
No,
Things.
No,
Master
Master Puppets is cool because it's a
fucking
fucking
sweet.
awesome song.
I'm like for 20 years, okay?
20 years. Jason, you realize 20 years ago I was at an NSYNC concert?
I was gonna say, Master of Puppets is it's pretty
Ooh.
old, Jason. It's pretty
So-
old.
35. Yeah, it's wow. It's 36 years old. I knew I didn't know if it was from the
Jason's like,
late
I was in
80s
college when that
or
album
mid
dropped.
90s. I was 7 years old when Master of Puppets dropped. I'll be honest, like my brother got Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction. I got my mom to buy me the cassette. They were like this big. You put
Yeah.
it, had to hit play, rewind, all that.
Yeah.
So I got that when, I mean, pre 12 years old, 10, 11 years old. And then me and my brother got in a fight. He completely, and this is the word we used back then, narked me out. Because that's what we called you narc. That was the word we used when you told on
that-
somebody.
Yeah. Is that a bad word?
You're a
Is
narc.
it-
What's that?
I mean, is that derived from something that we can't use now?
I think like from like narcotics when they had narcs
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the drug days and
That's
stuff
what
like that.
that's what I kind of always assumed. But
Yeah,
the way you
I
said
believe
it,
that's where it's derived from.
the way you said it made me think that it was like
a
now
soft
not
swear,
it's
like
not
an
a
American-
PC. It's not a PC term
like,
anymore.
No,
And
it
I was
just-
like,
American
but it was
swear.
it's just funny because that's what I'm like. Well, how would you narc on me? And I got Appetite of Destruction taken away from me because it's a little extreme. The Guns N' Roses got a little extreme in those lyrics back then for a young kid. Now they play them at football games, so that shows you how the world's changed. You know, Kiss was devil worshippers back then too. Turns out they're just cool guys.
They're just old guys that still put on makeup, which is the makeup doesn't. They don't watch enough makeup tutorials.
and there's
about how to,
nothing
like,
wrong with that.
contour. No. It's just the fact that now it looks like the makeup is back then. It was like the makeup was melting off their faces because it was hot and they were still rocking.
Their
Now
face
it
melting.
now it just always looks like the makeup is melting off of their face. It just constantly looks like it's melting. You put it on, it's like, well, no, that's just a product of the fact that they're all of them. But well, Gene Simmons, his face is still pretty tight, but I would have a feeling that it looks pretty artificially
Wait.
tight like a tiger.
Yeah, he's had needles in there to
Yeah,
get
they've
everything
gotta
to
they
puff
keep-
out nicely.
keep pulling it back. His face is receding.
You know the comedian Dane Cook, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Have you seen what he looks like?
yeah. He
Like,
I just
dude,
watched him. It's
let-
funny.
let
I just watched.
nature- Let nature do it, all right? You don't need to have all the injections. He's so
So
puffy.
I saw him recently on. So I like watching like Your Mom's House, the Tom Segura podcast, and
Some kind of fucking insult. Your mom's house.
Your mom.
That's-
Yeah, how do you like
Whoa.
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the temperament. It's great. It's a great show. But
To be fair, I would never use that. That seems like a very specific insult. Like to say to your friend, you would never actually say that. You'd be like, "Hey, you're
It's
an
funny,
idiot." It's like your
so-
mom's house. It's like, what? What does that even mean? Like, why did you say house? Just say your mom.
so it's Tom and his wife, who's also a comedian, Christina P, and she they have like tons of guests on and stuff. And Dane Cook was just on it like within the last 6 months, I think, and he just looks old now. Like I don't know if he stopped doing that stuff or what, but like yeah, he aged. He's
Well, the issue is he
Who
looks.
would say your mom's
like-
house?
Who's that?
Zach Wilson, quarterback of the Jets.
He would. He would. Where'd you go? Your mom's house? Whoa. That was
He
actually
that's
my-
literally his thing. He
one of my-
like effed his mom's friend.
Yeah, he's always been a Cougar. He was a Cougar in college at BYU, and he's all about the
I don't-
Cougars.
okay. I was gonna say he's about the Cougars, or he is a Cougar. Because if he
About the
was a
Cougars, yeah,
Cougar,
he
if he
loves-
was a Cougar
he
at
loves them.
BYU, that's kind of impressive. Like,
It is
because
impressive.
now he's a NFL quarterback, but if he was a Cougar before, that's fucking
He's
crazy.
always
That's
loved the
it's
Cougars.
an autobiography I would read.
Zach Wilson's I love them Cougars.
It would be
Oh, Zach Wilson's.
Cougar?
I used to be a Cougar. That's
He used to be a Cougar.
I was gonna say because if you wanted like just an autobiography, you just read "Boys Will Be Boys." It's about the '90s Cowboys. You want the most insane book ever?
Yeah.
Just read that.
yeah.
I mean,
crazy.
they had a fuck house that a bunch of guys bought.
This isn't the first
that
time
was
you brought
close-
this up, Jason. Did you?
Is it?
Did you
I'm
just read it
old, I don't
recently?
remember anything.
I don't remember.
No,
That's
He's already
Jason's-
doing the
that's the
talking
only
about-
book Jason reads.
NFL guys getting dirty. So I just thought,
I'm picturing Jason's library, and it's just that book.
Just a single copy.
300 copies all the way around. What shall I read?
He's already.
It's probably legitimately one of the last books I read. It was probably like 10 years ago. I ain't got time to read anymore.
He's already doing the grandpa stories. I love that. I love the grandpa stories where it's like you hear it like 4 or 5 times in the course of a year, and you're like, this is better every time.
Well, I'm getting there.
Oh, we know. Yeah. And you know what? We're gonna take care of you. Don't worry about it.
Until the zombie apocalypse comes, and I have to take care of you guys.
Yeah, no, they work. Yeah, well, yeah. Jason is not in an advantageous position though if he's the homeowner who's like immediate. It's like, all right, Jason's in charge. It's a zombie apocalypse. It's like, no, I don't want this job. This is not the job I want right now.
I don't know how
not
Jason would
interested
not be in charge. I'll be totally honest. Like I could see.
Throne style ruling too. It's, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to off me because it'll be my word until I get stabbed in the back and somebody else.
He would literally make
it
us
over.
build him an iron throne. 100%.
Probably.
Like Jason,
No,
can
he'd
we
just
build
be
a
like,
fence or something. It's like, no. That's for my throne. Now get outside and build my throne.
I was gonna say this earlier, but it's been so consistent. I got to bring it up. Like we have just been losing like 1 viewer a minute, like clockwork. Like it's actually kind of impressive. It's like we're just seeing like the tears of people's willingness to listen to our random fucking bullshit rants.
What do you want us to talk about? So in Fab news this week,
Nothing happened.
Yeah, hey, shoot us a comment right now of something
Yeah,
that you
if
want
there's
us,
something
you
going
want
on
our
with Fab,
opinion on, because we don't know. We're just fucking rambling at this point. We're just doing what we would be doing
Right.
anyways, but we're live streaming it. So
Yeah.
if you have a
It's easier,
question
'cause then
or something that you want us to go off on, fucking comment.
but there's legitimately, and this happens every set release is you have big tournaments and then you get within a couple weeks of the new set
Yeah.
and before previews start it's just dead air time. When was ProQuest season 3 announced? I didn't even know that.
Oh, was it? Yeah, I totally.
Before we get into that,
Yes.
Blake, new missions are available on Marvel Snap right now.
Oh, that's good. I need to go get
10
some
p.m.
more.
Yeah. Jason, did you
Yeah,
try
I
it?
totally.
I downloaded. I have not played it yet, but I did download it.
It's like
Where
it's like,
It's.
Where were these
pretty
announced?
chill.
I'm on the website.
yeah, I'm looking
I'm
for
scrolling through.
as I'm talking about Marvel Snap. I'm
How
looking
far?
for the
How far
ProQuest.
back was it?
Yeah, when did this happen?
Is it before Nats? Did it just get buried in Nats news? Is that what happened? Because it's entirely possible that that's what happened. Or was it in one of the here's what's coming things? Oh my wait, what? I am all the way back in September.
I think he's messing with us now because I'm not seeing it. Today under
retailer news.
retailer
Season.
news.
Is it
Retailers.
Oh.
News.
Okay.
There it is. ProQuest. Hey guys, did you hear? ProQuest season 3 was announced today.
wait, today?
October 21st. Actually tomorrow. It hasn't even come out yet. October
Oh, see,
21st. It's
we would've-
released tomorrow.
Right. We would have talked about it if it would have been released, but we didn't look in the future.
We didn't know what the street date was for that
I'm
news.
guessing this will be an actual break because it doesn't start till January 14th. So after
Ooh.
Worlds, we'll enter holiday break for 2 months.
I kind of like the
Yeah.
fact they respect the holidays. Same thing happened last year too. Like it was
Yeah,
was like
it
everyone-
was some downtime.
yeah, everyone knew that there was going to be a little bit of a lull. Let us get some Blood Bowl in, you know.
Yeah, we got to get most of our Blood Bowl season in before.
Yeah, let's run over the pricing real quick.
Yeah, please.
And we'll go over. Oh my God. Okay, they got something really cool in this. So one random drop gold cold foil card, which is pretty effing sweet.
Mhm.
1 times Dragon Shield OP display. So that
So-
top 8 and
hold-
2 judges. Here's the
on.
cool point
Yeah.
part. 24 resource point metal coins. That's the kind of prizing we have been
Mhm.
asking for.
I want to see that shit.
So once
on
again,
prize
Simpsons,
walls.
we
Yeah.
asked for this. We asked for it.
It had to happen though.
One
That's like the
time-
Simpsons claiming credit for like
Shut up.
there
We're
being
taking it.
nuclear power.
We're taking it. No, we're taking it. 2 times proclamation of requisition rainbow foil handed
Right,
out to
so-
the judges once the event has concluded.
So you missed the fact that the Dragon Shield sleeves are Soraya limited edition sleeves.
I don't even know what that means. That's why I skipped over it.
Exactly.
I thought it was like a sriracha sauce that you just put on your fucking chicken wings when you're done, and then shields for your
assume-
fingers.
I assume like proclamation of requisition, I assume those two things have to be something new. And it like proclamation of requisition, maybe that has to do with
How come nobody comments?
That might be like a
made it
judge
through
thing,
both
kind of
those
like
words?
Ty PP,
PP?
like how he's like
PP?
he's not in the set, but he's like a judge thing. Maybe a
but Soraya
proclamation.
being on sleeves.
I pronounced
that?
both those words right and in a row on my first try, and nobody says anything.
It's because
Well,
that's what you're
disappointed.
supposed to do.
Wait,
That's
hold
how
on.
it's supposed to
When
work.
have I ever done that? When have I ever done that?
Wait, they said that's the Herald of Erudition?
Yes, her name is Soraya
So
How do we know that?
because I know all the heralds' names.
So does
Okay.
that mean that
It was
I
in,
thought
it
their
was
names
actually
were all- I-
it was
I
in
thought their names
our
were all
wait.
Herald.
in our spoiler. It has it.
You got that?
It's listed
So,
on like
but-
our lore card or whatever that we had. It says
yeah,
Soraya on
our
it.
our info, the info
It
card.
was literally us.
Yeah, Soraya,
question.
keeper of knowledge.
I have a quick question for
Fuck you,
D-Rage
Cody.
Master. For D-Rage Master, how did you find this? Are you a
Did somebody
retailer and you look, or do you look like, because a lot
someone
of the stuff
share it?
people either somebody shared it or people honestly look at the whole website every day,
They
right?
just scroll around.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
sure
There's
the
people
judge
that
did
look
it.
for
Yeah.
this to be number one. You know what I mean?
Right,
Broke the
yeah.
news, ProQuest season. I mean,
So
it hasn't even happened yet. It's not even released till tomorrow.
so if that's the Herald's name, is that just going to be art of the Herald of Erudition, or is the Herald of Erudition going to be
Can't be a hero.
can't be a hero?
Might be an alternate card, maybe.
Why can't it be a hero? Why can't it be a hero?
Because they're not.
Because it would be
They're
a
all
herald.
dead. I mean, anything could happen. It could be that like all the heralds are like real people that still live, and like
It could
They're
it could be a
illusionists.
hark the herald, this angel sings. We don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, Oh, someone showed the ProQuest announcement in the Discord. Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, I totally did not see that. I don't scroll. I don't have notifications on for Discord channels for the most part because it just beeps.
I get 'em for
nonstop and
spoilers,
drives me
yeah.
insane.
But
See,
yeah.
is it always only 2 weeks long? I thought it was a month long usually, or is it always 2 weeks?
Mm,
Can
it's
anybody,
usually- Oh wait,
Pro-
yeah, it's only 2
ProQuest
weeks.
is usually a month, right?
15th.
Yeah, Volda was cranial
Ooh,
crush.
This would
Yeah,
be-
but the issue with the
this would be
heralds though is
3.
that like they
This would be
were
3.
the
Right?
beings that like helped form Solana. Like they were the ones that like
Raiden
defended.
from Mortal Kombat. You don't know.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's what I mean by like anything's possible for sure. But like,
Oh God, Chris is gonna make Dane lose his mind. Do you see this? Going full Stormlight Archives.
What does that mean? Somebody fill me in.
Stormlight
that'd be
Archives
fucking
is
dope, dude.
it's a series of books by Dane's favorite author, Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah,
Did you just a little bit in your pants?
I just rubbed my nipples a little bit.
I
Then
saw that. I
realized-
mean, we all saw that. I've never even heard that. Well, I will say, I'm excited to hear about ProQuest Season 3.
Yeah.
That's something good to look. It'll be fun. First Dynasty, big events.
Mhm.
I love it. Can't wait to see who gets it. I actually really want to see the 24 resource metal coins.
Or just
Yeah.
one of them.
What
I'd be fine seeing one of them too.
are they just gonna be? Do you think they'll be like the?
Seal 24 would be a cocksucker.
No, I want to see all of them.
No, go ahead,
Do you think
Blake,
they're
but-
gonna be the
One stack.
the fab metal?
Well,
Like
they
the fab
didn't.
metal
Did
tokens?
I might be totally making this up, but did I see someone? Did I see them post that like they were partnering with LSS?
The fab
Who's
metal
that?
tokens?
Yeah, like the.
I didn't see
I thought
anything about it.
I
but-
probably am. I'm in a weird state of being right now, so it could totally just be made up. Like I already called work and was like, I'm not working tomorrow, so I'm gonna just fucking sleep all day. Get through
That's
this
a good.
fucking
That's a
sickness.
good plan. I can't
Yeah, I
do
don't-
that.
I don't know. I like those tokens a lot. Like they look really good. They're really well made and
Just
high
want-
quality.
Yeah,
The
for sure.
dice with the strength symbol on it,
Mm-hmm.
1 through 6, and another one like 6 through 12. I'm not gonna go the or 7 through.
I mean, I think just 1 through 6 is fine because then you just if it's over that you just put a second dice. People can add. Dane said Dane can add 2 single numbers.
Still, I
Yeah,
like the
it's-
clean.
dude,
look
it's
of
super
seeing a
easy.
12 or
It
the
doesn't even
10.
take. It doesn't even take a
Love
lot
it.
of effort. Just a little, like a minimal
you-
effort. Like it's
Yeah,
really fucking
If
simple.
somebody has to do like 13 damage and they have to put a 12 and a 1 next to it, Dane can do that. But if they somehow find a way to do like 20 damage and they have to put 2 10 dice,
No.
people might struggle.
It was multiplying 2 double-digit numbers.
2. Okay,
I can
multiplying.
It's multiplication. I can add like a motherfucker. Don't even test me.
12 plus 27, go.
39, bitch. Fuck you.
Oh, there it is. You got it. Proof.
I was
just
sweaty
proved it
after
live.
that though. Like, yeah, he threw me on the spot. I didn't know.
It would have been better if you would have just whiffed on it and be like 38. No, 39. Oh no.
Oh shit. No, man, dude. Addition and shit like that, and then what else? Oh, remembering strings of number letter, like alphanumeric codes. Like both of those things are like skills that it's like it's one of the few things that I can actually use from like where all of my knowledge was gained. No, I remember I was just talking to Chelsea about this over dinner. Like I remember so much about like trajectory mapping and like calculating like our distance to target and stuff like that is so utterly useless that I spent so much of my life learning, and it's just like why is this not at all helpful in anything?
You're selling your value for the zombie apocalypse right now to me. Hey, no big deal. I know how to trajectory map, whatever. So say there's a horde of them coming. They're 200 yards out. We got a wind speed of 5 coming at us. We're
Literally
sitting at an
all that shit.
elevation approximately 20 feet higher than them. Here's the angle we're going to set this bomb to go off on. I'm thinking 42 degrees northwest. And then we hit them.
Doesn't matter when it doesn't matter when it's Jason with a fucking slingshot on the roof. Like it's still gonna fucking miss. But I can tell.
Big catapults. We make catapults, right?
Oh, I
Rock-
almost said it because I D-Rage Master. I don't believe you're good at remembering numbers. What's your social? 469555555. It's a pretty unique one.
that's the classic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you got a new credit card? Oh, take a picture of it, send it to us. Oh, it looks great. What's the back look like? Oh, awesome. Thanks.
Dude, that's like one of the instances where like that's a super useful skill because like I don't need to store my credit card information anywhere. I just fucking remember it all. So it's like, oh yeah. Blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
my wife has ours. I memorized.
Yeah.
100%.
I just put my phone and I hit the button twice, and then I can just pay for anything.
Oh.
Jason is
Greatest
not
ever.
afraid of data breaches. Not at all. It's just
You know what? As a guy that worked for the bank and had to deal with all that kind of stuff, I know how easy it is. I'm getting my money back. I don't want to go through the pain in the ass, but I know how to do it if it happens. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
I've always been a firm believer in the fact
Just
that
walk into the
you know,
vault,
at
the
this
bag.
point, you're just playing. Everyone's playing with fire with all the data breach stuff. You're just like, meh, whatever. It happens. It's gonna
someone
happen
wants to get into
somewhere.
something bad
Yeah,
enough, they're just gonna get in there.
We were
whatever. Just have my stuff. Just make my life easier. Let me store my data everywhere. I don't
Wait.
want to ever have to remember anything.
we were hiking around Glacier National Park. What was this, like a month ago when Chelsea and I went? And I like we had the map, and I was like terrain associating and stuff like that on the map. And I was like, oh yeah, we're right here. We're about to come up to this like hill or whatever. And I it was like one of the I'm like, this is the first time in 6 years that this skill has it all showed itself at all. Like, which is
I
so
had-
fucking
so-
ridiculous. You know how many
Yeah, but
how
that's a
many
good skill.
years of my life I spent like knowing how to read properly maps at different scales and like elevation changes and stuff like that. It's like that is utterly useless. Except for that one
So
time.
when we went to Yellowstone, I had a map and a compass just because you're going on trails that don't always have
Not well marked
it's not
or
a defined
defined.
trail.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. It's not so you're trying to find marks and there's ways to get there, but you still need a compass to get your degrees. But I had to go back because I forgot all that shit. I knew how to do it at one point in my life, but it'd been 30 years or 25 years. I had to go back and relook and relearn to triangulate yourself and get your bear. I mean, it's a good skill. If you don't do that, it's a lot of time saved. Boom, boom. There we go.
Mhm.
We're home. See ya. Other than that, ProQuest 3. That's the news. That's the news of the week.
Yeah.
Next week we're going to talk about it again. So be ready for that.
No, well actually, I mean, I'm assuming that there's going to be some stuff to talk about next week. And with only two of us, we get less sidetracked, I think. So I actually do like this format. So someone had mentioned at the beginning, how, like, oh, there's 3 of you. Well, if you missed like the pseudo
Only
announcement,
lives.
we're doing we're gonna be doing like a rotation of 2 of us on any given week. So it'll be like Blake and Jason, and then Jason and me, and then me and Blake, and then every 4th episode, like once a month,
Live.
we'll do live with all of us. Just catch up, see how everyone's doing, interact.
Well, I
but
guess
that way
what
we all
what
get
day does Festivus land on this? Oh my god. Oh no, wait, that's Thanksgiving. Son of a bitch. It's on a Saturday. We could live stream Saturday, or it's on Friday. We could do our live stream Friday night on Festivus
Sure, let's do that. That sounds good.
on the 23rd of December.
I like it.
Oh my god, that would be
Live
amazing.
drinking. I'm drinking. I don't know about.
I'm not drinking. I've been sick for going on 2.5 weeks. Three on Tuesday. I'm starting to feel better, but still get the hacks. So thanks for asking, Cappy Cody Cappy.
Yeah, I see. When I'm sick, I like to like drink and let my immune system just like chill for a little bit. You know, like it's just like you've been working real hard the last 12 hours, like getting me through today at work with just the
Well,
throbbing headache all day. So I'm just gonna fucking you chill out tonight too, and then like we'll just both deal with it tomorrow.
You get no activity. We're gonna have to live or do a little overtime. I'm gonna booze it up real good. Oh,
right.
that's all I got.
And that's
right,
all
I need
I
to
got.
finish
I
this
just-
Norse team.
I just realized the only thing that we have left that we haven't done is we haven't done the
Giveaway.
giveaway.
All right, let's do that quick.
So
Let's go back.
I actually have all the names in a wheel.
Okay.
So
I'm not
I think if I-
editing it into our overlay right now. So I'm
that's fine. If I
we're
try to
trusting
bring
you.
it in, it's gonna be catastrophic. You can trust me. I'm a reverend. I'm a good honest man.
Also, we don't
I
give a
usually
shit
use
who
that-
this goes to. So
Trust
yeah,
no one.
it's free. It's free stuff. So I'm gonna click the wheel right now, and I will let you know who the winner is.
click it 3
Spins
times.
a lot.
Oh,
Okay.
never mind. Oh, twice.
times?
Do it twice. Randomize it twice. And then make sure you tell us who the first one was so they can feel extra bad.
Oh, I was just about to say it because it just ended, and I was like, "Wait, I'm not gonna do that. That sounds terrible. That's like a terrible experience for somebody." All right.
It still says Top Deck TCG. Are we still associated with Top Deck TCG?
Jesus,
he-
you gotta
Chris
say that on
always
the
shares our
video.
stuff.
Yeah, Jesus, we still put his stuff in our link. But thanks for calling it out.
Right. I'm just waiting for it to stop spinning now because I did my second spin. And it is. I got to go back and see if there's a last name. Danny. Danny. What?
Danny boy?
Danny. Hold
Danny
on.
boy.
Danny Hensby. That's the. I had to go. I only typed first names in, but they were enough and last initials if necessary.
What are the odds? If Danny
Danny
Hensby is one of these
Hensby.
10 viewers, I'll send him an extra prize. Danny Hensby, comment on our video right
If you
now.
comment right now, Dane's going to give you an extra.
I'm gonna give you an
prize.
extra prize if you're one of our 10 people watching.
You know that we are like, if you go to TopDeckTCG.com, you can see our latest podcast right on their front page.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
because
He
we're
always shares. He
fucking
always
partnered
shares our
with
stuff.
him.
Like every week, he shares it. That's why we have his thing.
It's
so
why we
can-
put his
support him.
link in the.
Yeah, his link.
But it's fine.
I just haven't paid attention to
Jason's
that. I haven't looked
obviously
at it for a while.
Jason's obviously really invested in the channel.
Yeah, I'm super invested.
It's all of it. It's Jason's really concerned about all the financial well-being, like
Yeah.
goings on of
Yo,
the channel,
can-
because there's a
can we
lot
put
of
a-
them.
Should we do a week, like an annual report week where we run the financials of the Outcast Haven? We'll go over the numbers.
End of this
how
year, we're gonna
what-
be. We've made a grand total of $27.13 since we monetized. It's pretty big.
Spoiler
deal.
alert.
That's our
Spoiler alert.
lifetime
We're-
earnings
We're
for the
always in
channel,
red.
folks. $27.13 lifetime earnings.
Don't
Oh,
ask us
what
the
are we gonna
bottom
do with
line
it all?
though. Yeah, well, I mean,
What are we gonna do with it all?
that covers about half
mean-
of the shipping costs that we've sent on the last
We've
two
acquired-
Oh,
giveaways.
that's
Yeah.
that's what. Yeah, that will be for shipping.
Yeah.
Which I shipped mine out to Canada, and they came back the other day, and now I have to message him because it
Oh my
says
God.
the wrong address. So I spent
Oh.
$15 and it got sent back. So that was awesome.
Oh God. That's fantastic. Sounds awesome. All right. Well, if Danny hasn't commented, I think he missed
Yep.
his
Danny
window.
Oh,
Boy's
well.
not on.
3 extra prizes. That was
no
it right there.
dick pic for you.
Were you gonna wear Crocs
I'm
too?
kind of loopy right now. No.
Not at all.
My dick doesn't have feet, so I wouldn't need Crocs. You
I don't know what
wouldn't
to say
see
to
my
that.
feet in the picture. You can't. This is
Doesn't need to be
bad.
that zoomed out.
Well,
All right.
well, anyway,
Now we just lost a viewer. All right.
that was actually me clicking off. I couldn't
Yeah.
take it anymore.
All right. That's all we got. We're going to wrap it up. Everyone, thanks for
Yeah.
joining us. Really appreciate it. We'll see you all together here like this next month. In the meantime, hope you enjoy our podcast and be sure to like and subscribe. Have fun playing games, trying out some new shit because we got a little bit of a lull coming up, or hammering for World. So that's what you're testing for. So look forward to talking to you guys next week. Peace.
See you.